I can't hear you, sweetie.
Hi, Miss Noha. Hi.
Hi, Muhammad.
Hi.
Okay, guys. So as I said, today we'll continue the revision sheet we said we'll do today. Some of you guys send it as a homework. Thank you so much for doing that. There are some new terms because, as we said in this chapter, we started with lesson two because lesson one will be studied with more details next year, inshallah. I'm still admitting some of your friends, guys, so
Miss
that's
Noha.
why. Yes, is this Malak?
Yes.
Yes,
Miss,
Malak.
what is your plans today?
No, today we should continue with the revision. If we still have time at the end, maybe you will show it to us, okay? But I saw you in plant yesterday, didn't I?
Yes, it grew more.
Well, maybe next week we can see it together, okay? If we didn't have time for today. Okay, so the last thing we talked about, guys, was the lesson three in chapter two, talking about the development of different organisms. And we learned or we revised over the direct development and metamorphosis. I hope you guys still remember this from yesterday. You have this on the
Yes.
SMS. So, yes, I hope you can go and read it again or watch the old sessions. But before moving to the worksheet, I want people to remind me, what did we call the metamorphosis or the changes that happens to a frog? Was it a complete or incomplete metamorphosis?
Can I
Complete.
answer?
Well, yes. Next time, guys, please try to raise your hands. Yes, it is a complete one because it changes. It doesn't look the same as it is when it hatches from the egg. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and we learned the two difference between complete and incomplete is that the complete has four stages, starting with the egg and moving to
Yes.
the adult version. We have egg, larva, pupa, and adult.
Pupa
And
and adults.
yes, in the incomplete, we have only three life cycles. Oh, I'm sorry,
Cycles.
three stages: egg, nymph, and adult. You
And
can
adults.
the nymph looks exactly like his parent, or I'm sorry, the adult version, but it just with slight changes, like it started growing wings, for example. Okay, his arms became more
Okay.
armored. Yes, Rugmini, do you have any questions? Because you're raising your hands.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, you wanted to answer then.
Yes. If there's any question I wanted to answer.
Okay, so when we move to the study sheet, when we move to the revision sheet, then. And in lesson one, guys, we had the different life cycles. I hope you remember that. If you guys have
Yeah.
any problems, we can stop and do them all over again. But as I said today, we will do the revision sheet. We'll start with it. Just let me get a full screen for you. Can you guys see my screen well?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just okay. Let's start with the first question. So we had Rugmini. Rugmini was the first one to raise her hand.
Okay.
Rugmini, do you still want to answer this one?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to guess the first sentence talking about heredity. So the basic unit of heredity, what do you think a basic unit of heredity is? But guys, just
Um.
give me a minute. Give me a minute so I can fix something in here. Just give me a minute.
Yes.
Guys, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Do you have a problem in my screen?
No.
No.
Okay, let's start with the
No.
first question again. As we said, do you think, what do you think is a basic unit of heredity? Like, have you ever heard of this word before?
Yes. It's in the
Yes,
textbook.
it is in the textbook. That's right. So, what do you think it means?
Um. I think it's gene. The basic unit is gene.
G. Well, this is something you guys will learn about next year, but just let's have a hint for it. Okay, so heredity is basically the traits passing to you from your parents to your offsprings to their offsprings or to the babies. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So a gene, which is going to be the answer for this one. But thank you, Rugmini, for trying this one. You will answer number 2. You will continue with number 2, but just let me have a quick talk about this one. And here it's going to be B. So again, what is a gene? It's a structure that carries the codes of your genetic information, like how tall you are, what color of your skin is going to be, what your hair texture is going to be. Okay. You know, genes. You know, when they say, well, it's something in their genes. Do you know this sentence?
Yes.
Yes. What do you mean by genes again? They are structures in the chromosomes inside the nucleus. If you guys still remember this from term 1, we learned that nucleus is the control center, controls everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And also includes structures called chromosomes. And those are very important because they carry your genetic information. Again, what do you mean by genetic information? With your genes, the instructions, how tall you will be, what color your skin is going to be, the color of your hair. Okay.
Miss.
So that's what do we mean by the basic unit of heredity, if you get this one.
Okay.
So these terms, again, guys, will be learned more next year, but just I wanted to give you a hint for them because I know, guys, you ask
Okay.
for more. Yes, you do. Okay. So
Miss.
we can move to number 2 then. Rugmini will be the
Miss.
same. Yes.
What page?
No, sweet, it's not a page. I will
M-
upload
Miss.
this worksheet at the end
Miss
of this
Noha.
day. What page are you asking for? You mean the worksheet itself? Guys, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Who's asking about the
Yes.
page?
Wahba.
وهبة.
Yes, Wahba. You
Wahba.
mean what kind of page is this? No, this is a worksheet I will be uploading. You don't have it in your book, sweetie. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. This is just a revision sheet.
Miss
So,
Noha.
Rugmini, you will answer number 2. Rugmini, can you
Okay.
move to number 2? Yes. So, a growth process in which an animal gets larger without going through major changes in body form.
Direct development.
Direct development. Yes, that's right. Thank you so much, sweetie. So, if you guys remember when we said examples about direct development, it's the kind of growing that happens without big changes, like the one that happens for the kittens and the dogs, humans, spiders. I mean, they still look the same when they are young, but just with slight differences. Like they get taller, maybe they will have longer hair. For example, the spiders in here, they are still insects, but they go through direct development because their youngs or whatever hatches from their eggs still looks like a spider, right? We still can
Yes.
recognize them. Exactly. So that's what we mean by direct development. It's growing without, having these big changes. Not like in the metamorphosis part where there is big change in these organisms. I hope you guys can go back to the previous sessions if you wanted a quick reminder. And if you have more
Okay.
questions, you can leave them till next week or the end of the session if you still have questions from today. Okay, now we'll move to Hamza. Okay, Hamza, Muhammad, Layan, Abdulrahman, Karim. Those are the people raising their hands. You guys want to answer or you just have a question?
And I want to answer.
Answer.
Okay, so I will move in order then. So I hope you guys will
Yeah.
be patient. I will move in order. I will start with Hamza first.
Okay.
Okay,
All
Hamza.
the stages an organism goes through life cycle.
Yes, all the stages an organism goes through, it's going to be life cycle. Thank you so much. Exactly, yes. So a life cycle, again, what do we call them? What do we mean by
All
life
the stage-
cycle?
All the stages in an organism's life passes through.
Exactly, yes. Through which it changes. If you guys remember, we learned about the life cycle first in lesson 2 about the stages of the plants, and also humans have life cycle too, right? Maybe we don't change
Yes.
that much during this life cycle. I mean, we still look humans as young ones, but we go through a life cycle. So all living things go through a life cycle during their lives. Thank you so much, Hamza. Now let's move to the next one. We have Muhammad.
A characteristic that makes one organism different from another.
Yes. What do you think this is going to be?
Uh,
You can guess the answer for
gene.
this one also.
Gene.
Well, G.
Gene. B.
Gene. Okay, we picked gene before. It's the basic
Oh,
unit of
okay, okay.
heredity. Again, guys, this is a new thing you're learning about, but you already know what a trait is because you took this in chapter 3.
Yes, it's F.
So it's gonna be F, what makes someone special, or
Trait.
distinguish organisms, which is a trait. Okay. What is a trait again? If you guys remember from chapter 4, wait, because I have a message.
Things an organism does to live in the environment.
Yes, remember the adaptation thing?
Yes.
Yes, that was a slight hint also of next year's lesson because you guys will start study again about the adaptation, but with more
Okay.
details, like what do we mean by heredity, trait. So in this revision sheet, guys, because it's on chapter 2, you will have some new terms. Okay, you can add them to your knowledge today, but they are also important because you guys will learn about them next year. Okay, so what do we mean by a trait? It's something we have, like having strong wings, or of course we don't have wings, but what I mean is like in general with organisms, having the ability to move fast or run fast. Do you know that this is
Or
also
be invisible.
being
Like
invisible?
some iguanas.
Yes,
Not
you mean
like
camouflaging.
spread out, yes.
Yes,
Spread
having
out
the ability
colors.
to camouflage. Yes, these are
Yes.
traits or characteristics, or we can say features that make an organism different from one another. That's right. That makes even humans different from one another. We don't all share the same traits, right? We don't look the same. We share different genetic information. Okay, guys, still this is a hint for next year, inshallah. Hope you will enjoy it next year because you will have
Yes.
a lot about these traits and genetic information.
Okay.
Miss Noha,
Yes?
I have a question in the sheet.
Yes, you can ask it now.
Yeah, letter C. I don't know letter C what it is.
Well, as I said, this is on chapter 2. Okay. We started with lesson 2 because lesson 1 will be more detailed next year and it will be a lot better for you guys to understand. So, heredity is a new term you guys adding to your knowledge today. Okay. And we will move, as we move through this question, you'll understand it more. I mean, we learned about the gene before, the trait. Wait for heredity. Okay.
Okay.
I will explain it right away, but just as we move through the question.
Miss Noha,
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Muhammad?
I want like all the genes, all our genes in our DNA.
Well, the gene is what carries your DNA. Yes, it's
Yes.
codes of your DNA, genetic instructions.
Yes.
They
Without
are,
our
yes,
genes,
carried by your chromosome. Exactly,
yes,
yes.
it's
They are
carried by.
carried by your chromosome. Okay? Chromosomes found in the nucleus. More details. Okay, number 5, a growth. Muhammad, you can answer number 5 too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. A growth process in which an animal goes through major changes. Look at this word, major changes, big changes in body form over the course of life cycle. What do you think it's going to be? Try to read all of column P.
Okay. Uh, it's metamorphosis.
It's going to be,
Mm,
can you come again, please?
heredity.
I didn't hear the first answer, sweetie.
Okay.
Don't mix between heredity and metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
You're still left with 2, heredity and metamorphosis. What do you think this sentence is going to be?
Metamorphosis.
Yes, you said this at the beginning because I didn't hear you well. I'm so sorry about that.
Because the other one is the last one.
Yes, it is going to be the last one. This is the one Lyanne asked about. Again, Lyanne, you will understand it more next year. Heredity is how the traits are passed to you from your mother and your father. Okay, so for example, if you inherited or got your hair color from your mother, for example, okay, this is what we call
Okay.
heredity. Okay,
Okay.
so that's something you guys will learn about next year with more details because we'll study a lot about the genetic information and how you get your characteristics or your features from your parents. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now let's move to the next question. We have Loyan. Do you want to answer
Me.
the first one, number 7?
Yes.
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 Do you want to read the question or should I read it for you?
No, no, I can read it.
Okay.
Okay. What carries instructions for your growth and development?
Yes. What do you
Uh,
think? You can guess the answer for this one too because it's a new word for you guys.
yeah, I know.
So, is it your acquired traits? What do we mean by acquired traits? It's something we gain as we grow up, like having a cut in the face, for example, or having a losing, or you've lost, for example, a finger, or a rat maybe lost his tail. These are called acquired traits, something we gain during our life cycle, okay? Inherited traits, you guys know inherited traits already. Guys, are still hearing me? Do you still hear me?
Yes.
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 So what do you mean by inherited trait? Remember, like the camouflage.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, like having
You,
a certain
I
hair
remember.
color, a certain, yes, skin color. That's what we mean by inherited trait. Something we inherit or take or pass to us from our parents, okay?
A.
So
A.
the question here, Lyanne says, you carry these instructions, the instructions like growing, how tall you will be, okay? Do you carry them as acquired trait, like something you gain while you're growing, or as inherited traits, or it's from your family tree, or it's in your genes? Guess the answer, and we will discuss it later.
Okay. A.
Okay, acquired trait. Again, this is a new word for you guys in this revision sheet. It's something we gain as we grow up. Okay, something we gain in the life, like learning new hunting skills for some animals. Okay, but here
Okay.
he's asking about instructions, something you have, you did not actually work to get it. You just have it in your genes. Okay, so the answer will be
D.
yes, your genes. Just give me a minute so I can highlight the answer for you guys. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna be
Yes.
your
Genes.
genes is the one that carries your instructions. So again, guys,
Okay.
today we're having some new terms that will help us inshallah next year. I hope you will still remember it then. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lyanne. You can
You're
you can
welcome.
actually answer number 8. You can also guess the answer for this one.
Yeah, I know this one.
Okay, so let me read the question for you. Abdurrahman Karim, be careful, you're next, okay? And then we have Jenna. Jenna, are you raising your hand to answer or you want to ask a question?
To answer.
Okay, so wait for your turn, sweetie. Number 8, Lyanne will be the one answering number 8. Where do an offspring's genes come from? Okay, try to focus with the choices, Lyanne. The mother
Okay.
contributes all of the genes, like she gives all of her genes, or the father contributes all of his genes, or do you think that we get half of the genes from the mother and half from the father, like in H, or we don't get any of the genes?
No, H.
H, yes, it's gonna be each parent contributes or like gives or passes half of his genes to his offspring. That's right. So next year, guys, you will learn about a scientist called Gregor Mendel. He's also someone that got interested into genetics. And he learned that we get half of our genes from the mother and the other half from the father. So even if I don't look like my father, I still carry half of his genes. Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
Yes. So let's
that's actually
one.
100% true.
Yes, Lyanne.
That is actually 100% true.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Abdurrahman Karim,
You
can you answer number 9?
Yes.
Okay. Which of these traits is determined only by heredity? So, what do you mean again by heredity? It's the genes or the characteristics or the features that passes to you from your parents. Okay? So, what do you think is actually passed by heredity? Body size, the eye color, the intelligence, or the strengths?
Um,
Like something we can get from our parents. Can you guess this answer?
strength, strength,
I can't hear you, sweetie.
strength,
Strengths? Do you think
strength.
strengths is something that passed to us from our parents? Like, a strong person should depend whether his parents are strong or not, so he can be strong too. Or it's something that we get during our life cycle, by practicing some
Something
sports.
that
Yes, I can't hear
something
you,
that we
Abdulrahman. Can you get closer to the mic, please?
something that we get.
We learn, we
Something that
gain.
we get.
Yes, we gain during our life cycle. Exactly. So, what do you think? Something that we get without actually earning it, like we are born with it. That's what we mean by heredity.
Eye color.
Is this Abdurrahman?
Yes, it's
Yes,
Abdurrahman.
Abdurrahman. The eye color. Thank you. The body size could change, actually. Like, we can be with different body sizes during our life cycle. We do not actually control this, and we do not inherit it from our parents, like not 100%. The same for intelligence. It's up to, reading more or being eager to learn. And strengths also comes from playing a lot of sports. Okay. So eye color is the only thing that we actually inherit from our parents, or we get from our parents without any without asking for it or earning it through our lives. Now let's move to Jenna. Thank you, Abdulrahman. You still raising
Okay,
your hand. Do you have any questions?
No, I will lower it.
Okay, thank you so much, Abdulrahman. Okay, now we have Jenna. Jenna, would you like to answer number
Yes.
10?
Yes.
Okay. So, after its birth, which animal is most likely to survive and thrive? It's also the same meaning, without receiving care from one of or both of his parents. So he's absolutely independent, like he doesn't need his parents to survive. Okay? Are you ready for the choices?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think it's a bird, a fish, a kitten, or a seal? Do you know what a seal is?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think the answer will be? If you want me to read the question again, I can do it.
It's a fish.
Well, again, the question says it can survive and thrive without his parents. That's totally right. We learned in lesson 2, let me get this one for you guys, that most of the organisms that actually hatch or are being born, they need their mother's care, whether to complete their growth, like in kangaroos or marsupials, those animals that grow their babies in a pouch, or in the birds also, they still need their mother's care. I mean, if their mother actually left them or she died or something, or she got lost or captured and she left her babies, they will die because they depend totally on her to stay warm and to have food, right? Some reptiles depend on their parents, but most of them actually know their way, like turtles, for example, and crocodiles. They just know how to survive in the environment but not 100% without their parents. Okay. But then we learned about fish, and we said that a fish, once it hatches from the egg, it's actually 100% independent. It doesn't need its parents to tell her how to survive. She just knows what she's supposed to do. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jenna. Now, number 11, we have, let me pick someone else, people that do not raise their hands now. Hamza, you raised your hand again. Do you want to answer or you wanted to say something?
I want to answer.
Okay, Hamza, but you answered before. Let me pick someone that did not answer, okay?
Okay.
Okay. We have Rugmini. No, Rugmini answered also before. So just I'm sorry, just give chance for your friends. We have Aditu and then Jumana. Guys, is Dida Farida? Is Dida Farida
Yes,
Sharawi?
that's me. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
Farida, please try to
Yes.
change your name. Try to change it into your real name. Okay?
Okay.
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 Okay, now we'll start with Aditu first, and then we have Jumana, and then Farida, and then Muaz. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's
Yes.
start with Aditu. Aditu, will you answer number 11?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
Which
Abdulrahman,
part
for
of
sharing some of your answers in the chat. Thank you so much. Okay, Aditu, now start with number 11. Which
which
part
part
of a
of
plant feeds the embryo, which is the baby plant inside the seed, until the plant can make its own food? Is it the fruit,
uh,
the roots, the seed, the stem? What do you think?
uh, C
I can't hear you.
C?
C, you mean the seed.
Yeah.
That's totally correct. Remember, guys, when we said that the plant actually doesn't make its food once it starts growing from the seed? Like it gets all of the food it needs to grow the roots and the stem, the leaves. They get all this food from the seed itself until it grows the leaves, and then it can make now its own food using the photosynthesis process. Okay? Do you guys get this one?
yes.
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 If you
Yes.
guys, okay. If you guys still want to remember, I can get the study sheet for you. But I hope you can go back after this session and watch the old sessions about this one or the last session because it contains the revision also. Okay. Number 12, we said who's next again? Jumana?
Muaz.
No, I said Jumana will be next.
Well, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Abdulrahman. Okay. Let me move to the question, get it zoomed in. Okay, Jumana, are you ready? Jumana, are you ready? Do you have something
Yes.
with? Okay. Jenna and Aditu, you guys answered before. So I will lower your hands. If you still have any questions, you can raise them again, okay? But just because I'm taking people in order. Again, Farida, try to change your name back into Farida. Number 12, yeah, Jumana. It says, how do ferns and moss reproduce? So I need you to remember really
How
well
do
that what type of plants or what kinds of plants do fern and moss belong to? This is actually from term 1, but I believe you can do it. Okay, because this is again on chapter 2, which is includes everything. From
Spores?
yes.
From spores?
Yes, from spores. Thank you. Didn't give me a chance to read the choices. Well done. So, from spores, we learned that fern is a vascular plant. I mean, they have real roots and stem and leaves and everything, but they cannot grow seeds, and that's why they need spores. They use the spores to grow with.
oh,
Moss is
Yes,
a
I remember. I
non-vascular
remember
plant.
it.
Remember those guys? Remember those types?
Yes.
Yes, the
Yes.
non-vascular actually grow by spores. What do I mean by spores again? It's like as microscopic structures that grow into a whole new plant. Thank you so much, Jumana. Now we'll move to Farida.
Miss.
Yes?
Miss. I remembered it.
Yes, well done. I know you did. Well done, Jumana. Okay, now Farida, it's your turn. Number 13.
Okay. Which of these grow from storage stems called tubers?
Yes, well, this is a new word also. You guys are not learning about it this year, but just for your own information too, okay? Do you know what
Okay.
tubers are?
No.
Okay. We'll watch a video about them
Plants
at the
that
end
have
of this video.
tubes.
Yes?
Plants that have tubes, which is vascular plants.
Muhammad, come again, please.
Plants that have tubes, which is vascular plants.
No, tubers is something else. It's a type of growing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's like how, for example, potatoes grow. Okay,
Oh,
they
like
grow
a
over
little bit of
each,
a life
like
cycle.
from the previous one. Let me show you a picture of it right now.
Okay.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, this is what we
Yes.
mean by tuber, like growing
That's a potato.
over plants that grow under the ground.
Okay.
I mean, most of us can have this in their home. Let me just show you the picture, guys. Can you see the picture now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
this is a regular potato. And can you see how the plant is going out from it?
Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, it's growing a
Yes.
new potato. This is what we call tuber. Okay?
Tuber.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rugmini. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you for trying
You're
to
welcome, miss.
explain it. Okay, so the answer will be potato. Yeah. Who was this turn? Faida. Okay, Faida, you can answer number 14 because number 13 actually wasn't included. It's just for new things you're learning
Okay.
about. Number 14, you can answer number 14.
Okay. How do most animals begin the life cycle?
Yes. As a
Um,
chrysalis, as a fertilized egg, as a marsupial, or a nymph.
uh, J.
J or
As
G? Oh, you mean J,
J.
right? Like
Yeah, the last one.
the last one as a nymph?
No, the other one. Sorry.
Yes, it's as a fertilized egg. Because here it says most animals. Okay. I didn't hear say the insects, for example. If I said insects, I would be between the chrysalis or a nymph. Okay. I didn't say the kangaroos, for example. And even kangaroos don't start their lives as marsupials. I mean, they all start as a fertilized egg. Okay, guys, an egg with a pollen in plants, for example, or an egg with a sperm in other living things. Okay. Okay, guys, do you have any questions about this part?
No.
Yes,
No.
try to read the
No.
question. Try to read the question carefully because sometimes the answer actually is in the question itself. Okay. Now let's move to Muaz. Muaz, your next number 15.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is a new word also, but I want you to guess. Okay. Jumana and Farida,
Okay.
do you guys still have any questions?
No.
Okay.
No.
You're still raising your hands. Which process does the picture show? So in here you can see, what you can see here, Muaz?
Hatching.
I can't hear you. No, I didn't ask you for the answer. I'm saying, what do you think you're seeing in this picture?
The snake is getting out.
Yes, exactly. A snake, taking off the skin, the old skin. So do you think, is this hatching?
No.
No. Huh? Do you think it's laying eggs?
No.
No. Is it reproducing? Making new ones? Exactly.
No.
So we're still left with a word called
Molting.
molting. Yes, exactly. So molting it means to get rid of the old exoskeleton or old skin, like the snake doing in here. Okay. Do you know that other organisms do molting, like crabs? Let me show it to you. They are so famous with this one. Just let me show it to you in here. Yes, Abdurrahman. Sometimes renewing your skin to make it, with a fresh one. Just let me show you guys this one. We've seen it before. Can you see this crab?
Yes.
Yes, it's
Yes.
changing its exoskeleton. If you guys remember from classification,
Yes.
some organisms are covered with hard skeleton, like those ones. They do not actually grow with them, like they overgrow their exoskeleton or their
Okay.
outer shell. So they need to change it from time to time, and that's what we call molting.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Guys, we're still left with 1 minute. So we'll continue this one. If we didn't leave it, we'll continue it next week, but I hope we'll finish it today. Let's move to, do you guys have any questions about this one again? Do you want to stop
No.
me? Okay. Now number
No.
16, which kind of animal goes through direct development? We're
Do
left
we have homework today?
with yes. I can't hear you.
We have homework today.
No, we don't have homework today.
Okay.
Okay, because these inquiry skills, we have to do them together, so we'll do them next week, along with the revision of chapter 3. Okay? Okay, so Muaz, would you like to answer number 16? Because I mean, number 15 was new one was for you.
Yes.
Okay, which kind of animal goes through direct development? Frog, grasshopper, moth, spider.
Frog.
Oh, really? Are you sure about that?
No.
No, I said direct development. It means it looks the same. We just said direct development means not changing that much. It's gonna be a spider because it's the only one that looks the same as a young one. Okay, guys, we're left with 1 minute. Do you guys have any questions before leaving?
No.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Okay, guys, please be
No.
prepared. Next time we'll have some strong questions, like things to,
Okay.
make
Yeah.
our brains work.